Just, you say it's a small team, but it seems like quite a lot of work for this small team. I mean, I don't know how you're managing.
What makes it easy is community participation. A lot of communities, as we learn in the pilot phase, that people will recycle if they're given the education and if they're given the opportunity. And a lot of communities do approach us and say, you know, I really would like to start this. There's some communities where we have gotten into where they're not fully up to speed and we work with them, but a lot of people are willing to recycle.
Yeah,
people are willing to recycle. People do recognize that, one, and this is something that we let the students know when we do our presentation, that there is a lot of plastic out there. We're not saying plastic is bad, but there's a lot of plastic out there. And it's not as if we live in a magical world and plastic just disappears. It stays around. One thing that, and most students know this, is that it takes between 450 years and 500 years for a simple water bottle to go away. It's around forever.
Right, absolutely. So yeah, we do have a lot of good community participation. We also have an environmental ambassador program, and so it's based on volunteers, and so we get, you know, our communities to again go and disseminate the information and spread the word for the importance of this venture. So.
Now, where's the plant located, the recycling plant? Are you allowed to say, or?
Yeah, I think it's in Chase Village, I'm not mistaken. Yeah, yeah. We'll be hearing more about this. This is actually leading towards the phase 3, but in the phase 2, what we're focusing on, we are writing models. We're writing our operation models, which is going to be given to other NGOs, other community organization, community-based groups to say, if it is you wish to run a Plastikeep program or a program similar to Plastikeep, this is how you do it. This is the staff that you need. These are the functions. We are also having our community depot model, and we're having an education model, which Nikita can, you know, jump in and tell us more about.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's just the different components to that. But again, it's just going to schools, presentations. Then we do have promotional materials. So, you know, our presence is always felt. Copybooks and posters and that thing for the children. And then, yeah, there's a curriculum as well, an environmental curriculum, that just sort of goes and talks about the environment, what you'd hear in, you know, a social studies or geography class, but then sort of coming back to the importance of getting, you know, bringing and disposing of your plastics and recyclables in a proper manner and that sort of thing. So there are different aspects of that as well.
So what I'm understanding too from Victor is that Plastikeep doesn't intend to sort of hold the whole market, so to speak, of this. It's you want to share this with NGOs. Right. Okay, that's too is very interesting.
Yeah, the more people that are
You're not cornering the market.
No. There are actually other groups out there that have started up. There's a group, I know there's a group in South. There's one starting up in Arima. There's one in Balandra. Everyone's getting on board, and the more that we share our knowledge and experiences, it makes it a lot easier, so other people don't have to go through that same hurdle and the same problem.
Right. Yeah. And we're doing research, and you know, all of our findings and that sort of, we write reports, and that goes towards, you know, for the end of our phase 2, we present it to the government. We say, well, what works, what doesn't work, and so that's why, you know, we're more about sharing than anything else.
And we have meetings with our stakeholders at the end of phase 1. We had a meeting with our stakeholders to say, you know, thank you very much, and this is what we've learned. For example, there are a couple of communities that I made a call to, and I realized that their numbers were increasing. So I was asking them, you know, what it is that you do, so that I could, you know, help other communities, you know, do the same thing. And they were doing monthly newsletters, and it was a smaller community where they were able to walk around and share information. So I'm going to take that to my other communities and say, you know, this is what's working in one community. So it's a whole networking of not just us with communities, but communities with other communities as well.
Now, you named a lot of the areas in Trinidad that can be part of this. Are there any areas of Trinidad that cannot be part of it, sort of thing, that they're maybe way out in, you know, country areas that there's just nowhere for them to take their plastic yet?
Currently our mandate is only, again, as we said earlier, West, but I mean, everyone has the opportunity to do it.
We will go out and do a presentation and spread our message with them. The way that I like to talk about it, that there are different stages to the whole process. There's a recovery process, which Plastikeep does. There is the plastic where it's turned into chips or turned into pellets, and the processing of the plastic into recycling. There are a number of companies in Trinidad that will actually take the plastic in and process it either to chips or to pellets, and they operate throughout Trinidad and Tobago. So, for example, if someone's in Mayaro and they contact us, we'll put them in contact with someone who will be able to give them the service. We may go down there and do the presentation and let them know the steps of doing the collection correctly, but we'll set them up with someone else who will be able to do the collection or put them in touch with someone.
Now, if someone, a community or so, gets in touch with you, you provide them with certain things.
Yeah.
So maybe you could just, I remember we had bags or something that you gave to us, so maybe you could just let people know what they're provided with.
Yeah. We provide a large community bin. The bin is 4 feet square by 5 feet tall. That bin is provided at no cost, providing that public access and community access can be given to the bin. We also provide bags, roll bags, and we provide...
I think you had some there.
Yeah.
Right, so we give that to communities itself, a couple hundred, depending on how large the community is, and they can take it home. So if, for example, we're giving a presentation to the school, each child will get one, and we tell them, take this home to your parents and just let them open it up and see. If not,
so you have enough that you would give each child.
Right. Yeah. And if not, if it's just a community itself, we'll give it to them, to each household or whatever. And so within that, it's a flyer, and then there are 2 plastic bags so they can start actually recycling within that. And then this is what the roll flyer is. So it just tells you the types of plastic on the front, and then it tells you how to recycle it on the back. So, yeah.
Well, I know Nikita has studied this in depth while you were abroad, but I mean, are there any sort of statistics that you could share with us, or what are some of the frightening things we should know about that are affecting the planet right now?
Well, actually, I could give you a local fact, a local statistic. How many bottles that are produced in Trinidad? 500 million, I believe. 500 million bottles are produced in every year. If you were to line each bottle up on the savannah, it would take, in a row, it would take 11.5 savannas to actually
my gosh.
to fill that up.
And that's just in Trinidad?
That's in Trinidad itself. Globally, as we were talking, just within the oceans, all of the garbage patches, that's a serious deal. There are lots of findings, lots of research being done with, again, marine animals and how it's affecting them negatively and that sort of thing. I just read a study yesterday, actually, that there's a high percentage of fish in the UK that is now, that have plastic content in them and that sort of thing, and so it's a really serious issue.
So when you ask what's in this for me, it's about not eating fish that's contaminated, and then everybody wants to know, how come everybody has cancer and all these sort of strange diseases and so. Well, we just have about 1.5 minutes left. I don't know if you'd just like to repeat the website address and just some information for our viewers.
Our website address is plastikeep.com, Plastikeep, or plastikeep.com. We have our Facebook page as well. You can like us there. It has the information about the steps for recycling, bin locations, and our contact information.
Right. And you can get us at 222-5514.
All right. Well, I think that's great. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And I think the challenge is really for you and for me, to make a positive contribution to the health of our planet. That's what we're looking at.
Yes.
That's what's in it for us.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Victor and Nikita, for joining us. And do join us again next week at the same time. And tonight, of course, on right here on Channel 10, we have our Wednesday night prayer meeting, Catholics Return, and very, very interesting speaker tonight at 8 p.m. here on Channel 10. So do join us. God bless. All right. Stay there for a minute.